Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'm going to be going over 10 things about 9/11 that you didn't need to know. Basically, these are rare facts that in most cases don't necessarily have a significant effect on the situation. More so, they are random things that happened that you may have been unaware of in relation to September 11th. Number one is regarding the excavation of the site during the cleanup. Workers found something beneath the foundation of the Twin Towers around 22 feet below the street level at the World Trade Center site. They found an 18th century wooden vessel. This discovery happened in July of 2010. The wood from the ship was dated to be around 1773, and experts believed it was used in the 18th century for coastal transport and trade. The ship had likely sat undisturbed for around 200 years, as after it became no longer seaworthy, it was likely used as landfill to extend Manhattan's shoreline. The second interesting fact is the flooding that happened within the subway system on and after 9/11. After the towers had collapsed, much of the infrastructure underneath them was destroyed. It caused water mains and sewer lines to rupture, which in turn led to the severe flooding. The collapse basically caused a massive crater, with water from firefighter lines and broken pipes contributing to heavy flooding within the lower subway system. Number three is that the Twin Towers did not have a tuned mass damper, which is a mechanical device used in big buildings to reduce sway. Because of the way in which the towers were built, with the outer columns and inner core, architects believed the building could distribute loads efficiently without a damper. Also, at the time, tuned mass dampers were not used very often, as they are very expensive and require a large space. Because there was no damper, people would routinely feel sway, especially on the upper floors. If either of the towers had been more suited for luxury, like penthouses, they would have likely installed dampers. The fact that the towers didn't have one did not significantly contribute either way to their collapse, as the swaying of the buildings is not what caused them to fall. Number four is that Donald Trump initially put forth a plan to rebuild the Twin Towers after the collapse in the same style as the original ones. They would have been called the Twin Towers 2. The designs called for nearly identical plans to the original, with improvements like thicker steel, along with updated elevator systems. Also, the towers would possibly be built 5 floors higher. Trump launched a media campaign in 2005 and held a press event with a model of the Twin Towers 2. The model depicted remnants of the original tridents from both the buildings in front of the new buildings. It was to be a memorial, but the plan never materialized, as One World Trade Center looks nothing like either of the previous 2 Twin Towers, and 2 World Trade Center is still not built. Number five is, in the months leading up to 9/11, the Twin Towers underwent a massive building-wide elevator renovation. It was done by the Ace Elevator Company. This immediately led to questions about the access workers had to the core of the buildings by way of the elevator shafts, as the elevators were located within the core. After September 11th, the company went quiet, and the workers who were in the building on September 11th quickly fled after the first plane had struck. Number six is that the Twin Towers had a fireproofing problem, as the builders had opted for spray-on fireproofing, which was deemed suboptimal. Inspections in 1995 revealed only portions of the steel had proper coverage. A 2001 project was to fully re-fireproof the steel on the upper floors of the buildings, and it was confirmed that floors 94 through 98 of the North Tower were re-fireproofed just before September 11th. This was part of a $128 million modernization of the towers that had just gotten underway before the attacks. Number seven is the fact that New York City almost got hit with a hurricane on the week of September 11th. It was Hurricane Erin, which was said to be a Category 3 storm in early September of 2001. And on 9/11, the storm was sitting around 500 miles off the coast of New York. However, previous forecasts had originally projected it to track along the East Coast. The storm ended up doing the opposite, curving back out to sea in the days leading up to September 11th. Number 8 is in regards to the mysterious surviving window in the aftermath of September 11th. It is a single window frame, the only window frame that remained intact throughout the entire collapse. It is likely to have come from one of the mid-floors of the South Tower that was found sometime after the collapse within its footprint. It is currently on display in New York City at the 9/11 Memorial Museum. Number 9 is the damage the North Tower sustained from the South Tower's collapse. There was a 39-minute window in between the South Tower falling and the North Tower falling. Within that short time period, there were several photographs depicting the facade of the North Tower suffering damage via falling debris, which had suffered damage via falling debris from the South Tower. The Marriott Hotel, which was World Trade Center number 3, was split in half following the debris of the South Tower, which came crashing on top of it. The hotel was virtually completely obliterated when the North Tower fell. And finally, number 10 relates to the building of the towers, which had an impact on the way in which they collapsed. The towers' floor-to-truss column design was built for gravity, but not lateral pull. This became an issue when the fires weakened the steel, which caused the floors to sag inward, which in turn put pressure on the outer columns, causing them to cave in. The trusses were not engineered to resist the lateral pull, which caused the columns to buckle inwards, collapsing the buildings from the outside in.